Have you ever stopped mid-holiday chaos and wondered, is this joy or just survival mode? Or maybe you found yourself asking, do I even know what makes me happy anymore? If you nodded yes to either of those, you're not alone. And this episode is exactly what your soul has ordered. Hey there, I'm Jody Silverman, your personal midlife cheerleader, speaker, coach, and proud member of the Sandwich Generation. And today on Beyond Empty Nest, I'm bringing you a warm, wise, and wonderfully real conversation with author Bernadette Bowman. She's a lawyer, a mom, and the voice behind Daughter Lessons, a beautiful collection of essays that speak to every woman who's ever loved, lost, dreamed, or dared. Together, we're diving into what it means to know yourself, do happy, and pass down truth to the next generation. Bernadette's honesty and humor will feel like a hug wrapped in wisdom. And hey, after you listen, be sure to grab her holiday manifesto and download the Wheel of Life workbook. It's a free tool in the show notes that'll help you assess where you are thriving and where it may be time to do some daring. So let's get into it. Hello, Bernadette, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Jody. So good to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about our episode today, our conversation, because it's all going to center around your book called Daughter Lessons. And so let's start off with you sharing who you are with our audience. Introduce yourself, who you are, maybe, what area of the world you live in, and then how this amazing, beautiful book of essays came to be.
Sure. Thank you. Talking about my daughter's probably my favorite subject in the world. So this would be an easy conversation. I come to you from New York City. I'm looking at the Chrysler building right now. And if I'm squinting a little bit, it's because it's a beautiful, beautiful day in New York City. Very sunny and wonderful. And I'm a lawyer. I'm a yogi. I love yoga. I am a cook, but more than anything, I just find myself, as many women do, by my motherhood and the joy and the lessons that I have learned and the growth that I've had being a mom. So that's a little bit about myself, and that's how I came to write the book Daughter Lessons, which is really just a collection of essays that I have written over the years about being a daughter. I'm one of seven children, six girls. So my
Yeah.
mother and father had six daughters, which is, quite a fact in and of itself.
Yes.
Lessons that I've learned having daughters, and just lessons that I've learned just being a human.
Yeah.
And I put them all together because it dawned on me at one point that my girls were, going to be not under my roof any longer, which is something that I think most women fear. It's a hard moment for all of us, but
Mhm.
I decided to face it with my pen in my hand, and literally sat down one day and just started writing lessons that I would want my daughters to have. Also, trying to help them know who I am because I felt like I never really knew my mom.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And you know what I did? I read every single one. There's just about 40, what do we say? 40,
About 40, yeah.
about 40 lessons in here, little essays. And as I was reading them, it is a combination of, and we'll get into them. I picked some I wanted to talk about and I don't want to jump ahead about what you've learned from your daughters, but it really is like a gift to your daughters to learn a little bit. Because I learned a little bit about you. Like well, look how she thinks about, truth and dreams and happy, how you perceive happiness. I loved it. I think you're inspiring me to write something for my children, not necessarily publish it, but you're inspiring it. But can you tell me how old are your daughters right
My
now?
girls are in their 30s. They're
Yeah.
married ladies, as I call them. And they are, well, Carly's a mom. She's a young mom. She's got two tiny children, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, two
Wow.
girls, Blake and Gemma. And Courtney is expecting her first in December. And in fact, she's expecting her baby on Carly's birthday. So
Oh,
she's
wow.
expecting her first baby when I was expecting my first baby. So it's really exciting.
Wow. This is good. I got chills for that, like chills. And you have so many girls. Girls are really
Yes,
good.
and yes, she's having a girl too.
She is
So
the
like
female gene.
we do. In fact, I just learned on Sunday, because we had a family reunion, that three of my nieces are pregnant, all within 1 month, and they're all having girls.
Oh my God,
I,
Bernadette.
I know, right? We just do girls. I mean,
Wow. How's your brother?
my brother is good. He has, I'm trying to think of how many, he has four daughters. So
Wow.
yeah, he also has two sons, but he has four
Yeah.
daughters.
I didn't even get this when we first had it's pretty remarkable.
So
It's pretty
they
remarkable.
don't grow families like that anymore. Like
No.
seven kids, being one of seven
No.
children is a
Yeah.
lot.
But the synchronicity, going back, the synchronicity of your daughters and the birth date that's supposed to be, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
it
cool.
is. It is. And
Yeah.
Courtney actually met her husband on Carly's birthday. So I mean, so December 14th is obviously like
Magical day.
a big day for us.
That's a
Yes, for
magical thing.
sure.
Yes. So the book is called Daughter Lessons, Wise and Witty Reflections on Leading, Learning from, and Loving Our Daughters. And you can get it on Amazon. We're going to have a link to it in our show notes, so don't worry. I highly recommend it. It's a really nice read. So I did pick out a couple of the lessons, the essays that I liked. One of them is one of the first ones uh, that you talk about. It's titled Truth. I love how you start with a quote in each chapter. This one says, "This above all, to thine own self be true," which is obviously William Shakespeare and Hamlet. We all, even those of us that didn't like to read it in school, knew that one. Um, you talk about the first step of truth. And you talk about the first step in being true to yourself is knowing who you are. But you go on to talk about knowing who you are. Can you talk a little bit about it? What
Sure.
you wrote?
I'll read a
Yeah.
little bit to kind of set it up. So to me, knowing who you are is knowing like, who you are is made up of, among other things, what you like and what you don't like, what you believe or don't believe, what you can stand, withstand, understand, or can't stand, what you love, and whom you can never love. Knowing who you are is a challenge that will not end. If in your heart you know what feels right for you at a particular moment, even if you might not be able to express it in words, go with it, especially when you are in doubt. And I think that that's a good blueprint. I mean, it sounds like a catch-all, it sounds like a lot of things, but how many of us really know ourselves? You think about, I like to listen to inspiring podcasts in the morning. So I do listen to Tony Robbins a lot, especially when I'm working out, because I feel like if I'm picking up a big weight,
Wow.
Tony Robbins has that big voice and, I'm just like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But one of the things he says that I love, that I feel that fits in here, is that too many people major in minor things, and they know more about somebody, stars. I'll pick Beyonce, or they know more about, who Miley Cyrus. They know more about celebrities than they actually know about themselves.
True. It's so true. When you were reading that, and when I read it, the first thing that stood out to me is because you start about who you are is made up of, among other things, what you like or don't like. Some women at our stage of life don't even know what they like or don't like because of what you said. They're pay, they're they're too focused on what other people like
Right.
that they don't pause to say, well, what do I like? I had a woman once look at me during a vision board workshop and say, I don't even know what restaurants I like because I always default to my family.
Isn't that true? And actually, when I started journaling, that really began my journaling journey. So yeah, my journaling journey. So I started keeping a journal every day in 2005. And I was in such a bad place at that point. I was extremely unhappy. I was in an extremely unhappy time of my life. And I had spent so much time focusing on, my family and, getting through law school, my law practice. And I wanted to keep a journal, but I didn't even know what to write down. So I thought, I'm going to just ask myself a question, and then maybe that would be a good way to start.
Yes.
So my first question was, what do I want?
That's a big one,
And
Bernadette.
you know what? I literally could not articulate what it was I wanted. And it took me a few days, and I would stare at the page and thought, I have no idea what I want. And then one day, a few days into it, I picked up my pen and I wrote, I want a day where I don't cry. And it was really like I was surprised that I wrote that, but it was almost like I unlocked a door with a key. But many women don't bother to ask themselves, what do I want? We cede
Yeah.
our power and our preferences to everybody,
Yeah.
everyone but us. And we're not used to that because we're told we're selfish. If
Yeah.
we do what we want, we're selfish, which is
Absolutely. I will tell you the key to that story, and it happened to me too. And what I learned through my personal growth journey. I didn't know this before 10 years ago. Asking the question is important. The answer, having the answer right away, that doesn't matter. That's not important. When you ask the question, you don't realize what you do in your brain, your heart, your body. You open something up that allows something to come through. And for you, it took a few days. For me, it took a little bit too. When I said, well, do I really want to be doing what I'm doing when my kids are gone? I'm like, no, I didn't know what I wanted, but I just sat there. But when I answered that question, no, like honestly, all of a sudden opportunity started knocking. And I was saying yes to opportunity that I don't think I would have seen, heard, or said yes to if I hadn't asked myself the question. So I love that you share that. That's a powerful exercise you did, whether knowing you did were doing that or not.
Yeah, I really had no idea where it was going to lead. And you know what? What's great is that the answer to that question changes, and it should change. We want it to change
Yeah.
because as the circumstances of our lives change,
Yep, they
then we
do.
might want different things.
So true. All right. So I love that. So yes, be true to yourself. I'm not going to read all the bullet points, but they were really good because I don't want to give everything away. But in one of the bullet points, he said some situations require self-truth and direct advice. I love this one. Don't wear any item of clothing that makes you uncomfortable, even for a short period of time. You will be tortured until you can take the regrettable item off. I love that. I love that. And I say to people all the time, I don't care if it's in style. I like it. It's in style if it's my style.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I
People
love that.
don't trust themselves the way they should.
Nope.
Wear what you want to wear. Feel comfortable
Yeah.
with what you are comfortable in. And you know what? One of my daughters, so Carly, and I have talked about this, and it's so fun when your kids can actually quote you back. And she said, Mom, the one that I like the best of that is don't miss the opportunity to fall in love. When you feel it, go with it because you never know when you will have the chance again. And I have thought about that. And I always think, we think about, oh, tomorrow we put things off. But if you have an opportunity to love someone, we don't get those opportunities as many
Mm,
times as we think we're going to get in our lives.
true.
So to me, I do think that is sound advice. And also, um, accountability flows to you first. If
Yes.
you're comfortable with it, other people in your life will come along
Yeah.
as
Yeah, I
long
love
as you're
that.
comfortable.
I love that. Love that. All right. That was the truth essay. I love that. And I like how you started the book off with it. As I read through them, and it was so hard because we only, only have a certain amount of time on the show. But which is actually good because go grab a copy of the book and check it out. But I wanted to move on from truth to pride. I
Oh,
I
okay.
I love the pride. And I thank you for making these essays. Like they're just short but powerful. They really pack a powerful message that's a gift of writing when you know how to write. Um,
Thank you.
but
Thank
in the
you.
pride, like share why you feel it's important, like, and what is a tip for someone listening on how to begin practicing being proud of themselves?
Yeah, I think pride is important. There's so many things in our lives that make us ashamed or feel guilty or all these negative emotions. But there are so many things that we do every single day that we can be proud of. And it's just identifying what those are. I mean, you have to realize at some point, and I probably realized this, later in life than I should have. Nobody's going to rescue you. Like
Mhm.
you have to be the hero of your life. And if you are going to be the hero of your life, you want to do things that you're proud of. You want to be able to live out loud. I think pride is living out loud. Like, yes, I am okay, not just okay. I actually feel really good about the life that I'm leading. And I do like the Jane Austen quote.
Yes.
Person may be proud without being vain, because pride relates more to our opinion of ourselves and vanity to what we would have others think of us. So, I think part of it, again, in my journey of feeling better about my life and myself, I mean, there were often times where I felt so bad. I went through a divorce. I'm no longer married to the father of my children, although we have a great relationship for sure, and we are still a wonderful family unit. But I was married to him for a long time, and that uncoupling can really take a toll on your self-esteem. And I found myself kind of like scooping myself up and trying to lift myself up. So sometimes I would just try to, put a post-it on my computer and say, feel good. You're good at this. Feel good
Yeah.
about that. And I think we all need to do that for ourselves. There's so many things like Courtney and I always laugh, and that's my younger daughter. No one hates me the way I hate me,
Oh
right?
God,
Nobody
right?
is as hard on me. I say things to myself that I would not say to my worst
We
enemy.
all do, right? We all do.
Yeah, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
So instead of negative self-talk, how about some talk about what we can feel good about
Yeah.
ourselves? And I'll share some of
Yes.
the things that I am very proud of, and I won't list all of them. I am known for my good taste. I am. I am known for my good taste in clothing and decor and you name it. I'm gift giving. I pick out nice gifts. So I'm known for that. And that makes me feel good. I'm a hard worker. That my entire family, we are all just like a little army of,
Mhm.
of workers. It's, probably being from Irish and Polish descent. These are hardworking people. Um, I graduated from law school with honors, even though I had two small children. And you know what? Maybe because I had two small children,
Yeah.
it might have happened. And mostly because I have two beautiful daughters who are kind,
Yeah.
and that's probably my biggest point of pride right there.
And I love that. I'm thinking make a pride list. Like if you're listening right now, just hit pause and write down one thing you're proud of yourself of. Just write it down so you don't forget because you're thinking of something right now. And it's that woman I'm talking to you right now. I know you're listening to this episode and you're thinking, you know what? I'm pretty proud of myself for insert it, write it down right now because I like how you wrote a list of the things that you're proud of. And I too, I'm very proud that I have two children that are kind, good-hearted human beings. But you wrote one that resonates with me, that I have many friends, which leads me to believe that I'm a good friend. And I am proud of the way I'm a friend because I show up for my friends. So I think it's important. The affirmations are great because I do a whole self-talk cleanup. But recognizing the things that your accomplishments that you're proud of yourself for, give yourself an atta girl. I love that. That's what made me stop at the pride chapter. I love that.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you connected with that.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to dreams. Dreams.
Okay.
What hit me with this one is that in this essay, you talk about how your daughters have inspired you to dream.
They sure have.
So talk about the dreams essay for us because my kids haven't my kids have helped me dare through fear and doubt. They don't know. I mean, they know now because I've told them, but share a little bit about that.
Okay. When I was young, and I will say one of seven children, so you know that part.
Yeah.
My parents were divorced, and it wasn't divorce the way we divorce now, where it's kind of everyone tries to pull together, and the parents try to have some kind of an amicable parting. I mean, my kids were adults before I got divorced, so that's also helpful. But my dad left us. This is what we deemed it. And my mother was heartbroken, and really until the day she died, she loved my father so much. So that was another part of my origin story. So honestly, I didn't have a lot of dreams growing up. I really didn't. I didn't have a lot of ambitions. I did kind of want to be a hairdresser. I thought, oh, I'll be good at that. I didn't even want to go to college. My older sisters made me go. They said, you're too smart. You have to go to college. So I went to community college. And then once I got the first semester under my belt, I thought, oh, I love this. It's so fun to be smart. Like in high school, being smart is not all that fun. It's not all that popular, at least when I was in high school. It might be different now.
Okay.
But I just it turned my life around. But I never dreamed that I was going to be a lawyer or anything like that. I did want to have children, and I knew that was going to be part. So that was part of my dreams. But I never really had any big plans for my life. I wanted to be a mom. And once I had the kids, then that opened up a world for
Yeah.
me of I want them to be proud of me, which is literally when I was inspired to go to law school. It was like, I got to take care of these kids. So that's when I went back. But what I loved from my kids is they had dreams right away.
Right?
It was fantastic. I had never seen anything like this. And Carly wanted to live in New York City from the time she was in seventh grade and we came here. She said, I want to do it. And she ended up going to college here. And when she had left, I was probably a few weeks later, I was cleaning her desk at home. And she had written in her journal in seventh grade her dreams. And one of them, that like number one, was move to New York City.
Yeah.
I think number two was get my braces off, which was
Right.
probably a
I know.
short.
I love this story you share. Yeah.
And then number three was do something that makes my parents proud. And I called her and I said, well, look at you've achieved three of your dreams already. And I was so like, that was just so amazing and inspiring. And she's lived here since she was 18 years old, and she's doing great. And she's really made a beautiful life for herself. She married a man that she met in an art gallery in New York. What
Wow.
a New York story that is, right?
Yeah, New York love story. But you write in there that watching my girls pursue their dreams has inspired me to have some for myself.
Yeah, it really changed me and thought, well, I can do this now that they're at a certain age and they have been pursuing their dreams. Courtney was a professional dancer, and she wanted to do that from the time I mean, the first time she put on a tutu, and I saw her standing there like this. It was like, wow.
Wow.
It was like one of those
Yeah,
out of body moments. And I thought, I'll never forget this. And she did it. And she was a professional dancer for a long time. And it was amazing to me to watch them. And it inspired me. And what's great is I'm still having dreams. My dreams may be changing because as I achieve one, I move to the next. And it's really cool.
it is cool. It is cool. My
Oh,
kids have,
oh, excuse
bless
me.
you.
Thank
My
you.
kids have inspired so much for me. But I love how you shared that. And that's why I chose the dream chapter. And then so At first, I got to an essay called Happiness. And, everybody who knows me knows that I'm the happiness person. I'm a happy for no reason certified trainer. My default is genuinely happiness from the inside out. I just, and then as I continued to read, I came to the essay titled Do Happy. And I just was like, that's all I read was do happy. I'm like, oh my God, I like that. It wasn't be happy, choose happy. It was do happy. And I never heard anybody say do happy. And I loved it. And you quote Ellen DeGeneres, do things that make you happy. I like how that within the confines of the legal system. But
So, so true. And this I liked. I don't know. I had a new journal, and the title of the journal was Do Happy. And I thought, this is so perfect because when you think about it, when we are unhappy, a lot of times we are doing things that make us unhappy, right? I mean, that makes sense.
yes,
But there are certain things that you do that make you happy right away. So I thought I am going to write down a list of things that make me happy when I'm doing them. For example, I have thought my whole life it is virtually impossible to be unhappy when you are dancing.
absolutely.
How can you be unhappy when you're dancing? Although Courtney, and now Courtney is also married to a retired professional dancer. And the two of them have said, when you are a professional dancer, you can be unhappy when you're
But
dancing.
you're talking about just crank up your favorite song and dance around the kitchen. You can't, right.
Kitchen
I get
dancing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, kitchen dancing.
Yeah.
You cannot be unhappy doing that. You
I
know,
like how you wrote cleaning. Yes, as in housework.
yes, I love to clean. It makes me happy. It makes me
Yeah.
feel good. There's, and especially if something bad happens. I had a bad episode. Let's just say that with a family member on Sunday night, and I was so upset, and I didn't sleep, and it kept me up all night. Not my immediate family, my extended family. But you know what? The first thing I did on Monday, I cleaned. I opened up a closet and started
Oh
pulling things
yeah.
out, and I felt better. There's something
Declutter.
fun about
Yeah.
it, right?
I get that. Whenever I declutter, even if it's just a sock drawer, I feel so much better. So
You
much
do.
better.
You
Yeah. So
do.
I just want to read this. I love what you said. Um, the cover of my new journal advising me to do happy got me thinking. And there's a question again, what makes me happy? That's a question, ladies. If you're listening, you know, what do I like to do? What do I want to? What brings you joy? Just thinking about it, doing so. Even if you don't know the answer, think about it because I didn't think about like, it's a question. You go on to say that is a question many people, particularly women, fail to ask because we are wired to fulfill the needs and want of others. So, I love that. I love that you wrote this, but I like how you phrased it as do happy. Do things that light you up, that bring you joy, because really, I mean, that's what it's about. We have the power we have a power to raise our happiness level. It's up to us. So it's like I always say, it's our responsibility to find the things that make us happy, not somebody else's. It's ours.
And how we spend our days is
Yes.
how we spend our lives. So
Yes.
many of us say, "Oh, someday I'm going to do this. Someday might not ever come." So
Yeah.
what can we do today? And in the happiness chapter that you referred to,
Yeah.
I do love that quote that I started that chapter out with. There is no duty we so underrate as the duty of being happy.
Yeah.
And I think one part of this that flows into this conversation, Jody, is when we are happy, we give the people around us permission to be happy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's powerful. When we are happy, we give the people around us permission to be happy. I love that. I love that. I don't want to skirt over something you said though. That's powerful. And before that, you did say, because you end that do happy essay with, remember how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. So make sure you do happy. And when you do happy, you will inspire others to do happy. That's it. I love that. Love it.
True.
Absolutely love it.
Especially our children, right?
Yes. You have to model what doing something that lights you up, you have to model that for them. Sometimes, Like you said, it's our children that model it for us.
That is
Watch your
so
children. Yeah, yeah,
That is so true. And especially having adult children, it's really fun to be in that
oh
uh,
yeah,
a different category with them, so we can talk about what makes them happy. And it's great.
absolutely. All right, so you and I talked about this because this episode we're listening to it in December. It's the
Right.
holiday month, and I know I we have to end it. It was a brilliant idea of yours. It's not the end of the essays in the book, but you wrote a holiday manifesto. So we'll end the episode with that essay, but we're still gonna have a dare for the audience.
Okay.
So, share a little bit about why you wrote an essay called Holiday Manifesto, and then you're gonna read it to us because I think it's beautiful. All right.
I wrote this holiday manifesto because I thought, how many times do we get to the end of the holiday season and we literally are acting like we're doing the Baton Death March, right? It's like, oh, I can hardly wait to get these decorations down. I need to go on a diet. We're complaining about the best time of the year. Why are we
Yeah.
doing this?
I don't know.
So I thought, I want to make a declaration and try to really use it as a roadmap during the best time of the year. I mean, for everybody, it's the best time of the year. I will say for lawyers, it is the best time of the year from like Thanksgiving
Uh-huh.
to really until January 2nd, and then our lives go back to that the drudgery that
Yeah.
we do every day. And people in any profession
Yeah.
probably think that, but the the pace we keep is very brisk. But there is something wonderful about that Thanksgiving to just post New Year's
Yeah.
time that's really fun. And I thought, I want to enjoy every minute. I want to drink it in. I want to. So I thought, I'm going to write down this commitment, and I am going to keep this commitment because this is important. And I call it manifesto, and I start the entry with the Merriam-Webster dictionary's definition of manifesto. It is a public declaration of intention, opinion, objective, or motive. So it's a lovely word that covers a lot of
Yeah.
things.
And
And
before you read the
sure.
actual My Holiday Manifesto, this is for you, if you do struggle with embracing the joy of the holiday season, this holiday manifesto, like go back and listen to it again. And listen to it again and listen to it again because I think it really can help people get in the right in a better, not the right. It's not right for you, it's not right for me, but a better mindset. I just think it's beautiful what you wrote. So go ahead.
Thank you. Holiday is seldom paired with a manifesto, but I've been thinking a lot lately about how to spend the rest of my life, drafting statements about what I want and how I might achieve it. It is overwhelming. This morning, I concluded it might be better to plan just for the next 30 days and see how I do. A month is less daunting and my success or failure more readily measured. This particular month, the one between Thanksgiving and Christmas, can be a source of great happiness or great angst. I decided to plan for the former and avoid the latter at all costs. My holiday manifesto. I will revel in this season. I will not complain about snow, cold, traffic, or money. I will watch my favorite movie, Holiday Inn, more than once. I will take every opportunity to celebrate and decorate. I will drink champagne and eat Christmas cookies, maybe for breakfast. I won't stress about calories. I will wear sparkly shoes and a Santa hat at the very same time. I will spoil my children. I will sing Christmas carols at the top of my lungs. I will watch Courtney dance in the Nutcracker for the 16th year in a row. In the spirit of balance, I will be naughty and nice. If I have a bad moment, I will move on quickly, yet I will positively linger under the mistletoe. I will offer those I love what they really want, my unadulterated presence. I will be the embodiment of joy, And perhaps if I manage to meet my 30-day plan, I will have the courage to tackle the next 30 years.
Oh, I got chills. I love that. I love that. Absolutely love
Oh,
that.
thank
I
you.
love
Thank
that.
you so
Thank you for
much.
writing this. Thank you for writing Daughter Lessons. Again, the link is in our show notes. And with that said, Bernadette, it's dare time. Do you have a dare in mind for our audience, our
I
listeners?
do. I do, and it's gonna sound so simple, but I know it's not easy. Dare to be happy.
Mm, yeah. Dare to, yes, dare to be happy. Dare to do happy.
Dare to do happy.
Dare
There
to
you
do. I'm
go.
going to edit it. I'm going to edit it because I think that we don't hear that phrase a lot. And it could just be what people need to trick their brain a little bit to seeing the possibility. Dare to do happy. I like that.
And I think what it brings along with it is the energy. I think like energy is not necessarily in our minds. When you
Right.
think about, oh, what would make me happy? Well, I know of some things that I can do that make me happy right away, and it brings your energy up and you feel better. It's all that. It's like the momentum
Yeah.
if you find something that you do that can bring you joy. So
Awesome.
I agree. Let's do the edit. Do happy. Do
Thank
happy.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you so much for this. Really, this was such an enjoyable conversation. And I know our listeners are going to enjoy it too. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. And it was a joy to talk to you, Jody.
So, what would it look like for you to do happy? If that question made you pause, good. That's where the magic begins, in the pause. Bernadette's story reminds us that joy isn't just a feeling, it's a practice, a choice, a dare. So here's yours, friend. Dare to do happy. Start by doing one thing today, no matter how small, that lights you up from the inside out. And if you're looking for your own little nudge, the Wheel of Life workbook is waiting for you in the show notes below. It's the perfect companion to help you realign with what truly matters. And don't forget to grab your own copy of Daughter Lessons, which is a perfect gift for the holidays. If this episode spoke to you, please follow, share, and leave a review. It's how we spread this mission that midlife, it's not an ending. It's the ultimate opportunity to dare on. Until next time, keep wondering, keep daring, and keep doing your version of happy. Dare on.